Any other questions and queries on that item? That being the case, we have a suggested resolution there that the Chief Executive's report be received for the March the 2014. Can I have a mover, please?
Yeah, I'll move.
Moved by Councillor Cousins, seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Okay, just before we go to item 7, just a special welcome to our younger people of the audience today. Nice to see you here. They're all leaders in waiting of our community. They're all based around from Turangi, Mangakino, Western Bays, and from Taupo. Nice to see you guys here. You've been listening to the webcam. Could you hear us? You could. Yeah. Who's been the best performer so far? That's right. No, nice to, and you know, as I said to the councillors earlier, this is school holidays, so good on you for coming out of your school holidays and learning about how we do our job, and so hopefully there's some future councillors and leaders amongst you there. So nice to have you here, and just relax and listen. And, I think we'll just go to the next item. Everyone's still here? Yeah. Item number 7, Waikato Spatial Plan.
So through your worship, I'm presenting this one on behalf of Nick. He does send his apologies, but he can't be in 3 places at once. Essentially, that said, it's quite a procedural item. The Waikato have been looking at undertaking a spatial plan for the last 12 or 18 months. Essentially, we're at the next stage of that, so we've been through the evidence formation stage. And ready to start on to the next stage. So this item basically asks for your support for that process, and the establishment of a joint committee to be able to govern that Waikato spatial planning process. So I won't say does everyone. If anybody wants to know anything more about Waikato spatial planning, I'm happy to answer any questions.
You wish?
Exactly.
I would have liked us to workshop this. I think there's such a lot of detail, and I've just got a little bit of concern that we're not being taken along and getting the full information.
So
to understand the whole process.
So I guess, Mr. Chairman, part of the reason why it's not workshopped here is it was a timing issue with the other Waikato councils to get it in front of. But the other part of that is that this is only the first stage in the process. As you'll see there, we are recommending a joint committee, and so the work of that joint committee would be reported back to council on a regular basis, and most likely in a workshop situation as we go forward. So this isn't about any outcomes, it's just about starting that process off, which you've really identified in your long-term plan and your annual plan. So it's just that, yes, we're at that stage. This is a heads up, and can we form this committee so that you can have those briefings on a regular basis?
Still just a little bit uncomfortable, because unless you get your foot on the first pedal, should we say, and you're taken along, it's sometimes difficult to catch up. But
I have, because I attend the
I think that's
forum,
probably
Mayoral Forum, and they're more than happy to come and report back to you. I think we're in that hard situation, or good situation, really. We're a bit of the Waikato and we're a bit of the Bay of Plenty. So we've got a foot in both camps, but we need to be part of this to be, Hamilton's getting quite a powerhouse.
That's my concern.
Yeah, but we need to be part of the discussion. So
I totally agree.
So this is the initial stage of the spatial plan, and this gets our involvement going forward. But I think that would be a good request of yours for them to come and outline the details of it.
Okay.
And just through Mr. Chairman, the Bay of Plenty one is going to be next month, very similar. At a similar stage.
Oh, yes, I just tend to agree with Councillor Hickling. The key finding on stage 1 involved the 9 tasks, and those are the old sort of pillars of what the local government were about, with cultural, social, economic and environmental wellbeing, and they have been changed, and there are going to be more reforms. So I'm not with Councillor Hickling. I've just been a little cautious.
Councillor Stewart?
I was sort of the same opinion when I read the little sentence that says smaller centres like Taupo may find that the spatial plan has little direct relevance. So I'd like to know where we're sitting.
Through your worship, and maybe Mr Green could clarify it though, all they're asking for us here is to be part of the processes that move forward. The next crucial step for us is when they set up the joint committee, that we have representation on that committee that will represent our interests and represent the direction of this council. So that would be the time to workshop, Mr Green.
Great.
Your Worship, I'd just like to acknowledge the challenges that have been defined in this document, the declining rural population and associated decline in services, and the ageing population and the shrinking school base. And also just question the words, they use the word cohort. You get into a dilemma when they use words, that's the 10th of a Roman legion. So it's this, maybe the younger people at the back of the room can assist, because we're getting all this new jargon. Why don't they just say what they mean? But I do accept that they have outlined two of the important areas, declining populations and ageing.
Thank you. All right. It's a suggested resolution there, moved by
I'll move
Councillor
it.
Collins. Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Cousins. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried.
Worship, can I just make just a comment on 720 and 721? Because, like, automatically I look at the airstrips. We've got one. Well, there's one in Hamilton and there's got one in Taupo. So, you know, where is all this information? How has it been generated? Because I just picked that one up as a point of interest. So, is some of the other information correct? I don't know. I mean, we've got an airport in Taupo.
Could I perhaps answer that for you? I've been involved in this regional sports facility review and have provided information about the Taupo District sports facilities for the Waikato Regional Review. A lot of the facilities that they've got listed on the other facilities weren't ones that they were actually interested in. So the information that's been provided is probably incomplete at best. It'll be things that people thought of at the time and just threw into the mix, but they weren't actually asking us about airstrips. So it's not a complete picture of the Waikato regional airstrips.
Well, that's my concern.
Yeah. But realistically, they're not actually interested in airstrips for the purpose of this study. The things they were really interested in are the facility types on 720.
Okay.
I'll get them to come and present in detail. Yeah.
It'll be as we go through.
Sure. Item number 8. Okay. Mrs. Walker, nice to see you back from China.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Right, so this item is to provide feedback on the 14-15 Statement of Intent for 5 of our 6 CCOs. As you would have noted in the March agenda, the 6th CCO, which is the Lake Taupo Protection Trust, is reviewed by the Joint Committee. So what this item is designed to do is provide feedback. We, council officers, have reviewed the 5 SOIs, and then in addition we had on the 18th the DGLT workshop to discuss the SOIs. So we've also summarised the points that were made by councillors in that meeting. So I'll take the item as read, and really the options are around accepting as the resolutions are there, and adopting the comments. They can be amended and discussed in this meeting, or we can actually choose not to comment on the statements of intent. So we need to provide this feedback by the 1st of May.
Councillor Cousins.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Just my little pet. Just wanted a clarification around the words minor used under the DGLT comments that were made by council. Yep. It says minor, 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 and minor on the front as well. But a lot of that stuff to me, I don't consider to be minor because it's about accountability. So when we're talking about accountability, I will consider that to be important. So I just personally think that those words minor should be removed because it takes away the emphasis of what council was trying to say. That's just my opinion.
Well, I would certainly move an amendment to that effect, but we have to have the motion put first. Have the words minor removed.
Yeah, because it's like undervaluing what we were saying.
Yep, no, that's absolutely fine. That can be removed.
Okay.
Just needs the resolution.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone happy with taking minor out of that?
Just for DGLT.
Thank you, Councillor Cousins.
I
Councillor
thought
Body.
maybe it should be on the lot, because without relitigating the statements of intent of those groups, so then we've got it's clear, it's not grey or murky, it's clear. The word minor has been removed from the lot.
Okay, any other?
Through your worship, just on the Taupo Airport Authority, when we met as a committee, on the statement of intent, we asked that it was noted that there was signalling some capital expenditure, and I just want to confirm that that will have occurred on their statement of intent. It was to do with some roading extensions and purchase of a vehicle. And Mr. Menhennet noted at the time it would be included, but I didn't see it in the draft.
I'm just looking to my colleagues Neil and
we can
I didn't do the review for the TAA.
We can ensure that gets included.
Yeah, if you could, that would be good. Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Okay. All right. The suggested resolution there with the added word amended on it. Do I have a mover for that?
I'll move.
Move Councillor Hickling. Seconded by Councillor Park. Everybody happy?
Right.
Okay, move Councillor Hickling, seconded by, Councillor
I'm just going to raise the question on 8 bar 9 under the primary objectives. It states enhancing the certainty of access to debt markets, participating local authorities, subject always to operate in accordance with sound business practice. How is this policed? Does the Audit and Risk Committee police that?
I'll answer that if you like. Okay, so the Local Government Funding Agency has a separate board which is independently appointed. Craig Stobo is the chair, and I can't off the top of my head remember the other parties, but they're all very experienced corporate directors, well known in New Zealand. I can get you those names. So I guess that is governed by the board and the representations that the LGFA has to make to the board of directors.
So we rely on their expertise, do we?
Yes, you do. And your comments via the SOI is where that comes in from a Taupo District shareholder. We're one of I can't remember exactly how many, but about 50 odd shareholders in this company. All of the other parties being other councils throughout New Zealand.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
Okay. Suggested resolution has been moved by Councillor Hickling and seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, carried. Item number 9. Thanks, Chloe. Who's doing this one? Submission on health and safety reform bills. Mr. Fox, would you like to go down?
Thank you, Worship. I'm quite happy here. Thank you. Thank you, Worship. Look, you've seen the submission before. This is pretty much a mechanical item. We had a deadline to get to in terms of getting something to the select committee. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions and queries, Mr.
Your Worship, my one's not a question. My one's to do with the resolution. The words can be added, but reserves the right to make further comment in the future. We're actually saying that we endorse the draft submission, but we're not does that not enable us not to make any further submissions? Comment? Draft, I appreciate that.
You still can. My understanding is that the submission date may have been extended as well. So if you want to make further comment now's the opportunity to do so. So at the time we put that submission together based on, I think there was 4 of your colleagues that attended an EMA seminar on the law reform bill, on the health reform bill, and that reflected those thoughts at the time. But if there's anything else subsequent to that, we probably can.
Just, Your Worship, that on 9(4) in relationship to the letter signed by our Chief Executive, Mr. Williams, it states that Council is concerned that the bill refers to regulations that have not come into force and that its submission has been made without detailed knowledge of such regulations, hence the reason for my words being added to that original resolution.
You're quite right. There are regulations that have not yet been formed in support of the bill. So we are making a submission in a vacuum in that regard, and did so, and acknowledged it.
Oh, sorry, through the chair. Just the regulations actually haven't been written, so it's a bit hard to know where that's going to land. So I'm not sure if it fits in with this draft submission.
You'll probably get another opportunity to submit again.
We may well get the opportunity to submit again on the regulations. I'm not certain about that, but we haven't seen any detail around those.
That's, for instance, Mr. Chairman, the reason I needed the words "but reserves the right to" at a later stage.
Does everyone has a problem with that? No, good idea. Okay. You happy to move that?
I'll move that way, Mr.
Councillor Body, you've got that. Okay, seconded by Councillor Cousins. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Item number 10. Waikato Regional Council Draft Annual Plan.
So this is me again, Your Worship, and again, like the last item, you have already seen the submission circulated by email. Unfortunately, due to timing, we couldn't have the submission in front of you prior to it being lodged. But it has been circulated, and your comments have been included in there.
Any questions or queries of Mr. Green on that one? No. Moved by Councillor Jollins, seconded by Councillor Cousins. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes, carried.